Folks, Microsoft is rumored to be spending $10 billion investing in something called Chat GPT. Don't know if you've heard that. It's all over YouTube and the internet. I think it has the power to change lots of things. And one of the first things I think will be changed is actually media. So we have the one and only Sean Cannell on from Think Media, somebody I know, trust, and respect. We're going to talk about Chat GPT. Is it anything? Is it nothing? Is it going to change media forever? How you doing, Sean?
Michael, it's great to be back with you. And I think it is. I think it actually already has for those that are taking advantage of it. And I actually just have a list of case studies and use cases that are incredibly practical and a little bit scary.
Awesome. Well, let's just dive right in because I do think ChatGPT will change a lot of things. I do think it will be a series of dominoes. I do think media, your world, is right at the forefront. So I'd love to hear some of these use cases and things you're already seeing. That'd be great.
Yeah, I want to encourage listeners. You can ultimately sign up for this for free. The servers are getting overwhelmed, but if you Google Chat GPT or OpenAI.com, it's a language model that I believe is scraping like 8 million web pages, and that has been being developed over the last few years, and is really text based. So sometimes that can feel limiting, but what's scary is it gives you a prompt and you can start describing something to it. And so as a content creator, speaking of media, I've found that I can ask it a question like, write me 10 titles for a YouTube video on the topic of how to edit with Adobe Premiere. And it'll spit out 10 titles that are pretty remarkable. And then if I want more, I can just say, write 10 more if I'm looking for something that's a little punchier. I recently said, write me a hip hop rap song in the style of Notorious B.I.G.
I like it.
about YouTube and personal branding. And sure enough, it spit out bars with rhymes with a
Wow.
chorus. And it admittedly, there are some weaknesses to it. It wasn't really Notorious B.I.G. style.
Sure.
It was just kind of sort of rhymey, like some 80s hip hop that's terrible. So there's
Yeah.
definitely some weaknesses there. But in the video creation process, whether it's write me some search based or Google friendly text for my YouTube description, write me some titles. Could you come up with the best tags or search terms for a particular topic? But what's even more fascinating, my friend Shalene Johnson has been in the fitness industry, and she said, write me a workout plan for a particular body type. And then she said, write me a meal plan and a shopping list based on this macro, this calorie intake, this metabolism, this, and she went through the whole thing she would do as creating a personalized plan for
Right.
someone's workouts, diet, shopping. And she was like, in the past, when fitness people would do this one-on-one and charge a lot of money, this would take hours.
Right.
And it's not that you don't have to fact check it or correct it a little bit,
Right.
but it really does so much heavy lifting for it. I review cameras. I said, write me a comparison between the Canon M50 and the Sony ZV-1. And admittedly, not only did it give me 10 points and differences in the sensor size and some other things, and in a chatty voice. So it starts out, hey guys, welcome back to this video, and it really gives you a script for a video. But there were some things that were incorrect, so you can then go back and review it. But ultimately, it's pretty wild because it's really kind of like a bionic power up. I don't think it's replacing humans yet.
Yeah.
But I think that it is going to be a critical skill set to embrace for everybody listening to this. It's going to affect our lives, and it'll help us go faster, be better entrepreneurs, be better in business. I mean, one other example would be if you do any kind of email correspondence or follow up, you could say, write me a sales email for maybe you're wholesaling, maybe you have a loan product, maybe you have something, where the rates just dropped. Write me an email announcing, and you punch these details into it, and it'll give you 3-4 paragraphs. So normally when you'd write your email newsletter to sell your product, your service, something that you want to get the attention of investors, it can write this text for you and save you a ton of time. You just go in and do minimal edits, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, when I've looked at it, and again, I've looked at it thanks to your recommendation. I think it is, at least as its current iteration, and I got to imagine a $10 billion investment for Microsoft is going to take it leaps and bounds forward. And who knows who else is there, right? OpenAI, a lot more dollars are going to come at it in 2023, I would imagine. But I do think it's that starting block, right? A lot of content creators, to your point, get stuck at pressing record because they don't think they have it. Think about typing in, like I do a daily financial news show, right? You can type in your 5 topics and say, create me a script. If that's where you're stuck, it's going to get you 80% there. And then you have your style, your rhythm, your stories to kind of round it out. I do think it's that bionic suit, it just gets you started. I think it will help so many people get one step closer. And I think Chat GPT and OpenAI or whatever it becomes, it will fundamentally change lots of things. And I think media, writing, blogs, I think those are first. That's kind of layups, but it's going to be fun to watch over the next couple of years. I live in the Silicon Valley. I watched the internet change, right? I remember when you had to go buy Netscape Navigator on a floppy disk from Fry's Electronics, right? I was here for that. And I saw all of that evolve. So I think Chat GPT is going that way. I think it'll fundamentally change search, right? I think Google, Alphabet, whatever you want to call it, is, you know, they're quickly working on something similar and probably will release it because this fundamentally could change their business. So it will have an impact, and it'll be fun to watch.
I was just at a mastermind bringing up Alphabet and Google, and they are already have a competitor. But this is what I heard, and so in air quotes, but on good authority, that they're actually waiting for Chat GPT to face all the legal battles before they release theirs.
I've heard that,
which is
too.
super smart because it is going to be a whole new frontier, and that theirs apparently could run circles around it. And so I think it will definitely be a race. There's also been Jasper, which is a copywriting tool because people want to write sales pages, email marketing. And so AI copywriting, AI text has kind of been out there. And that's a paid tool that many of my friends use and really find valuable. And one other example from a peer that I saw was it's just, I think the skill sets you need to know how to ask questions. You still need to have the mindset to understand what you're after. You need to be able to steer it. But one of my friends just said, write me a product management launch plan for launching my online course, and then broke down the progression of this. This was no small document. Imagine, say, write me a business plan.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
it's not just
exactly.
write me a blog, right? Write me a business plan, and you go layer by layer, step by step. And because there's this massive database of data that it's scraping of all these good blogs, again, the quality of the information that it ends up with, but all the filtering tools and what do they call it? They call it machine learning. It's always getting smarter. And what's really interesting is this has only been around for days, weeks now. Yeah. And it's learning right now. And so it's a newborn, essentially, at least in this form that we're all experiencing on the consumer internet. And it's really just getting started. So what's it going to be like with how fast technology is evolving in 1 year? But really, what's it going to be like in 3 as money's flowing into it, all the machine learning compounding, and it's really something interesting.
Yeah, what I would tell people that are maybe going, what is it? How does it help me? I think it's one of those things you just need to go try for yourself. And if you're in the content creation space or the creator economy, I think it is a tool that you can use to help you. Whether it's outline or titles or thumbnails, just get better, right? You can figure out what people are looking at or what topics you maybe need to round out your story with. So I think there's a lot there. I think it's going to be wild to watch. I think Chat GPT is the closest thing I've seen to Netscape Navigator, where it just fundamentally changed everything. And again, it went with the web 1.0 went lots of places burned off and didn't do anything, but lots of places, went to 2.0 and 3.0. So it's going to be fun to watch. And I want to thank you for bringing it to my attention. Sean, where can people find you and all the great things you do at Think Media?
Yeah, check out Think Media on YouTube and the Think Media podcast, where we talk about how to launch, grow, and scale a YouTube channel. for earning extra sides of income or generating more leads, customers, and sales in your current real estate investing business or business.
And this amazing book as well. Great read. I read it twice on my East Coast to West Coast flight. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much, Sean.